So, what pushes a person to the brink of madness? For Prince Hamlet, the answer is a ghost's demand for revenge. We're about to dive into Shakespeare's ultimate tragedy, a story of murder, betrayal, and a quest for vengeance that consumes literally everyone. And we're going to do it in just 5 minutes.
You know, this one line, it's not even from a main character, but it tells you everything you need to know. It's not just setting a spooky scene, it's a diagnosis. There is a sickness, a kind of moral poison, at the very heart of Denmark, and it's seeping into the walls of the kingdom itself.
Okay, so at the center of all this is a prince who is just drowning in grief. But his own personal sorrow is about to explode into a national crisis, all thanks to a horrifying command from beyond the grave that's going to set him on a path of no return.
At the heart of the conflict are two brothers. On one side, you have Hamlet's dead father, a man he remembers as his godlike hero. On the other side, there's his uncle Claudius, who Hamlet sees as a sleazy, disgusting beast, and who wasted absolutely no time taking his brother's throne and his wife.
That feeling that something is just deeply wrong, well, it's about to take on a terrifying physical form. Up on the castle walls, the ghost of the dead king appears. And get this, he isn't some peaceful spirit. He's in full armor, like he's ready for war. That's a huge red flag. His death was no accident.
The ghost speaks only to his son, and its message is an absolute bombshell. The official story about a snakebite? A lie. The real serpent, he says, is Claudius, who poured poison in the king's ear to steal the crown. So Hamlet is given his mission, avenge me. But he's also given a crucial warning, leave your mother out of it. And just like that, this command becomes Hamlet's terrible, all-consuming purpose.
So how does a thoughtful university student go about avenging a king? Hamlet's answer isn't a sword, it's a performance. He cooks up this dangerous plan that forces him to walk a razor's edge between a calculated act and actual insanity.
His strategy? He tells his friends he's going to put on an antic disposition. In other words, he's going to pretend to be completely mad. And this is actually brilliant, because it'll allow him to investigate the king and everyone at court without anyone getting suspicious. He can use his wit as both a shield and a weapon.
This antic disposition becomes his mask, letting him hide in plain sight. But the real danger of his plan is that if you wear a mask for long enough, it can start to feel like your real face.
All this pressure, the grief, the secret mission, the constant acting, it leads him to this, maybe the most famous question in all of literature. But it's not just about suicide, it's the ultimate question. Should you act or not act? Should you just suffer quietly or should you fight back? Even if fighting means violence and maybe even death. And this is the core of his problem. Hamlet is a thinker who's been thrown into a role that demands a killer. The act of thinking, of weighing all the consequences, just drains his resolve. He overthinks himself into a corner, and in his own words, it makes him a coward.
Paralyzed by doubt and needing absolute proof, Hamlet the thinker comes up with an amazing plan. It's a plan not of violence, but of theater. He's going to use a play to force Claudius to reveal his own guilt.
He calls it the mousetrap. Here's how it works. First, a group of actors conveniently arrives at the castle. Second, Hamlet writes a new scene for their play that mirrors the exact way the ghost said the murder happened. And third, he and his friend Horatio are going to watch Claudius like hawks to see how he reacts.
This is it. This is the moment Hamlet shifts from just brooding to actually doing something. He believes that art can expose a truth that a simple accusation never could. He's betting everything on this one performance. And it works perfectly. As the actor on stage pours fake poison into the ear of the actor playing the king, the real King Claudius panics. He jumps to his feet, screams for light, and runs out of the room. For Hamlet, that explosive reaction is all the proof he needs. The ghost was telling the truth. So, riding high on this victory, Hamlet rushes to confront his mother. But this is where the whole tragedy turns. He hears someone spying behind a curtain, and in a rash, unthinking moment, so unlike him, he stabs his sword right through it, killing the old counselor Polonius. This single, terrible mistake is about to bring everything crashing down. Hamlet's fatal error doesn't just kill Polonius, it's like pulling the pin on a grenade. This single act of mistaken violence triggers a chain reaction of grief and vengeance that's going to doom them all.
The fallout is immediate and catastrophic.
Claudius finally has an excuse to banish Hamlet. Ophelia, totally torn between her murdered father and the lover who killed him, descends into madness and drowns. And her brother, Laertes, storms back to Denmark, a fiery, grief-stricken son who now wants exactly what Hamlet wants: revenge.
But look at the difference. When Claudius asks Laertes what he would do to get revenge, his answer is immediate and brutal: to cut his throat in the church. There's no hesitation, no philosophical debate. Laertes is pure, raw action. He's the perfect foil to the thoughtful, procrastinating Hamlet.
Claudius sees his opportunity and manipulates Laertes' rage. They concoct what they think is a foolproof plan to kill Hamlet under the guise of a friendly fencing match. It's got 3 layers of treachery: a sword with a sharpened point, a deadly poison on that point, and, just in case, a poisoned cup of wine as a backup.
And so the stage is set for the final act. Every plot, every secret, and every bit of sorrow is about to collide in one of the most famous and catastrophic endings in history.
The final duel just descends into a cascade of poison and tragic irony. The trap Claudius set backfires spectacularly. The queen accidentally drinks the poisoned wine meant for her son. Laertes wounds Hamlet with the poisoned sword, but in a scuffle, they swap swords, and Hamlet wounds Laertes with the very same poisoned blade. As he's dying, Laertes exposes the whole plot, giving Hamlet just enough time to finally fulfill his vow before the poison takes him too.
With his mission complete, his family dead, and the Danish court littered with bodies, Hamlet speaks his final words. All the noise and fury of his life, his thoughts, and his quest for revenge finally give way to silence.
And that leaves us with a haunting question, doesn't it? Hamlet got us revenge, but at what cost? In the end, his quest consumed not only his enemies, but also everyone he loved and himself. It's a powerful reminder that in the bloody cycle of vengeance, there are often no true victors.